Sweet, after all those years in prison, you've still got dreams.
All those years. Why didn't you come visit me? What sort of mother lets her 14-year-old daughter get dragged away like I did?
14-year-old does what you did.
You told me to. You told me to light that fire.
Hey there, superfans. This week sees the launch of Netflix's first ever Australian series, the supernatural thriller Tidelands, and we were lucky enough to get to chat to two of the stars of the show, Madeleine Madden and Mattias Inwood. Okay, in your own words, tell me about Tidelands. What are we watching? What are we seeing? What is this show about?
We're seeing that the sleepy town of Orphan Bay has all these mysterious underlying issues and history. And then there is a commune of supernatural beings that live just outside of Orphan Bay. And the tensions are high between the humans and the Tidelanders.
You're going to see power plays, you're going to see fighting.
Danger.
Danger, yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, the story of Tidelands follows a young Cal McTeer on her exploration of who she is and where she fits in the world that she's just been thrown back into.
And now, Matt, you play a local cop. How do you fit into this world?
Yeah, so I mean, Corey Welch is the moral compass of the show. He's stuck under the thumb of Murdoch, and he knows everything that's going on in the town, and he's trying to make sense of it all, and he's doing what he can to survive, but he's doing the bare minimum because he doesn't want to buy into that sort of world either. He wants to make a difference because he cares about the town, but survival is the first one.
And Maddie, you're actually playing a Tidelander, one of the mythological creatures the show circles around. How do you approach playing a non-human or semi-human character? How does that affect you as an actor?
Playing Violka, she seems like a very real person, you know, like it was very easy for me to kind of relate to her because it's not so, you know, even though it's a supernatural show, it still feels very real. And, you know, it's, I had a lot of fun working with her because she is very human. Like, she is very layered and she's got a lot of depth to her. And, you know, her, you know, she's not just so black and white. There's a grey area that she kind of fits into, and she's ambitious and she wants to see the best for the Tidelander community, and so she wants to overthrow Adriel and become the new leader. And so, you know, with this kind of hunger for power, she, you know, makes some enemies along the way and loses some people and gains some friends. So it was amazing playing her, yeah.
Whereas you're the human straight arrow, not corrupt, not a Tidelander, stuck in the middle of all this. Is that a challenge, playing a character like that when everyone else gets to be supernatural or evil? Or
I mean, look, when you take any sort of job on, you want to be looking for what's the thing in the character that you relate to. What's the story that character is telling. And although it's excellent being able to play with those things, I'm really interested in the human relationships that are built. So for me, that was a massive draw card with Corey. He's got this push and pull between right and wrong, and he's got he has to deal with a lot of different power dynamics within the different worlds. So I think preparing for the role, I had some friends whose parents were police officers for 19 years in New Zealand, and hearing their experiences in the police force and hearing some of the really quite horrific stories that they went through, it brought on a new understanding of what the police force in the world and in New Zealand and Australia have to deal with, and I've got a lot of respect for what they do. It's not an easy job, and it made it real. It made it real for me, yeah.
And Corey is, of course, strongly drawn to Cal. How would you describe their dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, Corey and Cal, they essentially grew up together. And I guess Cal was sort of a girl that Corey would have had a crush on in high school, and then suddenly she just got taken away, and 10 years goes past, and now she gets thrown back into the mix. And I guess there's familiarity there. He's grappling with, I know you, but I don't know you. 10 years is a long time, so people change in 10 years. So it's a rediscovering of that relationship, and also seeing how Cal is affected by where she stands within the world now.
Now, Maddie, after this picnic and Tomorrow When the War Began, you are officially an Australian genre veteran. Are you comfortable in that space? Do you think we're making more and more genre, sci-fi and fantasy stuff? Is that something which is on an upswing?
Definitely. And I think with, Netflix coming into Australia and now we've got our own original series, there's so much more content coming into the country, which is opening up a lot of opportunity for, us actors and directors and screenwriters. And, especially it's doing great things for diversity as well. So, it's exciting to kind of be at the forefront of this movement and to be included on, a show like this that's going to be showing in so many parts of the world. So, yeah, it's been a really great couple of years.
Now, what did you each find the most challenging aspect of the production? What really sort of pushed you as a performer?
I think what was really challenging for me was coming into this show, and there's so many different characters that, your character interacts with. And so it's finding what makes this relationship different to the other, what this person has in common, what, their motives are. Are they allies? Are they this? And a lot of the scenes, there's an unspoken dialogue. So it's kind of finding those energies and, how you bounce off your other actor. And I think stepping into a show this big, I think the biggest challenge is kind of getting over your own personal hurdle and going like, okay, I'm going to work with all these people and I've just got to, connect with them and so I can just do the best for the show.
Yeah, I mean, any job I've found that working with different productions, you approach each job differently because there are a different set of requirements for every job, and I think that's what I really like about this job is it's never the same thing. So you're going to have some challenges in some jobs that are completely different to ones and other ones and other productions. So it's always a question of going back to your methodology and looking at what's working, what's not working, how we can make it more efficient in a sense. So it's always a challenge.